In this tutorial, we are going to be reviewing how to create your own pattern brushes in Illustrator. So something as simple as a dotted line can easily be created using just simple shapes and creating pattern brushes from them. So first I'm going to just take my ellipse tool, L is the quick key, and I'm going to drag a perfect circle. I'll do Command H to hide my edges just so you can see this is selected, and then hit A to go to my white arrow so it's kind of hidden but still selected. Now there's two places I should say you can add these pattern brushes from. If you have this showing up here in your menu, you click on this drop down menu and then there's this little 3-line icon here, and I can click on that and create new brush here. Or if you want, you can go to the actual brush palette over here in your toolbox and then click on that, and then again you'll have that same drop down and then create new brush. Now either way, whichever way you do, when you create new brush, it'll give you this other dialog box that pops up, and what you want to do is pattern brush. You want to select pattern brush here, hit OK, and then you can see I just started with this circle and it has all these options here, and basically, you know, right now it's kind of all butted up against each other, which is fine. That's a super easy brush that you can create. But if you want to create some spacing, you know, think about percentage wise. This is percentage based on the size of that circle. So 100% will add exactly this 100% space of this size in between. So you'll see, you know, again, it's a perfect gap of exactly the width of 100% of this circle size. You know, if you want it to be tighter, you can do a smaller percentage. If you want it to be more spaced out, you can do a really big percentage, up to you. But whatever you do, you know, that's kind of up to you to control. And then you have these options here: stretch to fit, add space to fit, approximate path. So with this kind of pattern where it's like a, you know, perfect circle, you don't really want to stretch it because you can see they get distorted here. So I will add space to fit, and then colorization is important because you want to be able to change the color of this. So if you keep this on none, you won't be able to change the color of this. So whatever color you started in, that will be the only color you can use it in. You can go back and change this, but it's always good to just keep this in mind when you're making the brush in the first place. So I go to tints and shades, or tints. Tints is pretty much a good default. And then when I hit OK, you know, again, I have this. I'll just create a path here with my pen tool really quickly. Make sure it's got a stroke on it. And then, you know, you can see that spaced out brush that I just created. And if I want to change the color of it, you know, again, you can see I'm able to change the color of it. Okay, so that's super simple, just creating a shape. I'll do that again with a little diamond shape, just to kind of just repeat, just to show you really quickly how easy it is. Okay, so again, I'll do it from up here this time. And then, you know, again, this little drop down, new brush, pattern brush, okay. And then again, I'm going to add space to fit, not stretch to fit, and I'm going to make the method tints, and I am going to add spacing. This time I'm going to do 50%. Hit OK, and now I go to select this, and I can pick that new brush, and just like that, I have a brush, and it doesn't matter, you know, I'm doing this on a straight line right now, but it doesn't matter what the line is, what the shape is, and you can also control it now through point size. So if I just make the point size smaller, it will make that effect smaller. Same thing with these dotted line patterns that I created. Again, you know, just make the brush size bigger. You can see it gets bigger. So that's super simple, easy way to create these effects. Now, you can also use this to create something a little bit more detailed. So as you can see, I basically created this brush from this kind of set of shapes here. Okay, so I'm going to recreate that, but also you know, again, if I just select this, I'll show you. I've already created this, but I'll show you how to create that in a second. But if I just select this and then new brush, pattern brush, hit OK. Again, you can see I have this pattern brush and it's really that nice detailed border look. And for this, you know, actually on this kind of pattern brush, stretch to fit is good because then it stays connected. Whereas if you add space to fit, you might get these little gaps in between, which we don't want. So again, same thing, tints, you hit yes and OK, and then, you know, again, you can go to that brush and change the color of it. And that's super simple, okay? But, you know, creating these shapes is up to you. Very easy. So I'll just show you really quickly how I did that. So first I'm going to create a set of guides to kind of work in. Now, to use guides, any shape that you create, you can see I have this rectangle here. If I just hit Command 5, it will turn that into guides. Now my guides are hidden, so I'm just going to hit Command : and you will see it will reveal that guide that I just made. And now I'm going to just do a little bit of work to create this same shape here. So I am going to just use some shapes right off the bat, just create this kind of top shape up here, fill that with black, and then I'm going to drag it down here, create some smaller ones. I'm going to create a couple circles here. If you want to reflect it perfectly, you can pick a center point and then use this reflection tool here, and then that will kind of just shift it to a perfect symmetrical place on the other side. I'm just going to create 2 circles here, and I'll put that stroke to the inside. I'll make this about the same width as this bottom here, and I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to use my shape builder tool, Shift M, and just get rid of these outside parts by hitting the minus sign here. Gave me a little extra shape here, so I'm just gonna lock the other ones and delete that. To lock a shape is Command 2, and to unlock it is Command Option 2, unlocks everything. So now I have this, and I am going to offset this path to create those little outer bits too. So I'm going to go to Effect, Path, Offset Path, and then I'm going to preview, and I'm going to make this 0.75, we'll try, and maybe we'll do 0.85. That's pretty good. I mean, you can kind of just mess around with it and get it where you like it. Hit OK, and then I'm going to copy this, and then I'm actually going to turn off this offset path. Command F, and now I'm going to expand this. So now I have that, you know, these top shapes that I'm looking for. And I am going to create a square or a rectangle that I'm going to use with the shape builder tool now, just to get rid of all the rest of this stuff. So Shift M for my shape builder, and I'm going to get rid of that, that, and that. And now I have, you know, kind of all the shapes that I'm looking for here, and I can, if I really want to make this match exactly kind of how this other shape is, that's pretty much it, you know. So now I take this, gotta make sure I expand this object, expand appearance, and I can go to View, Guides, Lock Guides, make sure that that guide isn't getting in my way, and then I copy this, and you know, again, you can see this is more or less the same kind of thing that I created for this, and will be the basis of your pattern brush, something like this.